Can we start with getting your views on the Commission's verdict yesterday?
Well, I've only saw some snippets in the paper today, and I believe they were found guilty of paying £47 million over 11 years in non-disclosed payments.
So there's no competitive advantage though in what was done?
Well, yeah, I have my own views on that, but I'm sure other people will have their own views and judgments on that, but I think I'll save that for another time.
What do you, in your eyes, do you think they did get a competitive?
I said I will save that for another time.
Were you surprised at the verdict?
Listen, I've already said that they were found guilty of 47 million of non-disclosed payments. Am I surprised at that? No. So, as regards the competitive advantage they gained or didn't gain, again, a lot of other people will have a say on that. I've got my own views on it, but I'll keep them to myself for now.
Rangers, obviously, as you can imagine, feel vindicated and are quite keen for Scottish football to move on. Do you think that should
Maybe that's because they got their own way.
What do you think should happen with this, Neil, moving forward?
I have no opinion on it. That's for other people to decide. It wasn't our fate, it was the SPL. They brought up the tribunal against Rangers. It doesn't affect us. We have a quarter-final to prepare for. We are playing Juventus in the last 16 of the Champions League. We're not renting out a training ground for them.
But on face value, it would appear that they have gone through the proper process. An independent panel was set up. Everything has been looked at by independent bodies. Should we not abide by what they have said?
Well, who's saying that we're not?
No, but I'm saying, should we not just accept it and just go move on from it?
Well, who's saying that we're not?
You say you're going to have something to say in the future. At what point do you feel comfortable?
I don't know. Whenever I feel like it. At the minute, I don't think it's relevant to what I'm doing. I don't want to take anything away from what my team and my club are doing. The way we behave, the way we do our business, it's been impeccable, and that's the reason why we are in the position that we are now. So, like I say, I'll reserve judgment on it for another time.
What are you?
Okay, next question.
How big a game is this weekend, given what's happened in the League Cup?
Listen, it's not what's happened in the League Cup. It's to do with, how our season will shape up between now and the end of the season. And, we are well clear in the league, after having a setback on Wednesday night. But I think the players are very motivated for tomorrow. And it just adds a little bit more to it, the fact that we lost to St Mirren in the League Cup. But it's a quarter-final, we're away from home, we know it'll be a really tough game. They had a good win St Mirren the other night, and they played excellently against us in the semi-final, so I expect it to be more of the same tomorrow.
You were very disappointed on Wednesday night. Is one of the disappointing factors now that you can't reach that points tally that you wanted of over 90? Yeah,
I mean, we've had 92, 93. There are mitigating circumstances this year with volume of games, Champions League. But, we can reach 89 now, so that's the next target.
What have you had to say to your players? I mean, you were very disappointed in performance on Wednesday. Do you expect something different this weekend from them after that?
Well, yeah, I expect us to be better. I expect us to be show the quality that I know they've got, which some of them didn't do on Wednesday. I haven't had a chance really to speak to them. We've only had 2 days to recover from Wednesday, and we've got another early kick-off tomorrow. So the players know that they fell short of the standards that we ask of them, and I'll be looking for a reaction tomorrow.
Some have mentioned the word complacency, Neil. Are you finding it more difficult to motivate these players as the season goes on?
No. We've lost one game in the league since December. We've won 7 and drawn 1, so it's not bad. So I don't think there's any complacency there. We've scored 23 goals in the last 5 home games. So, yeah, anyone who wants to throw it's just a cheap way of criticising the team. Any angle somebody comes at, it's just absolute nonsense to say that they're complacent.
Do you think more's made of it because so many think that you should be going out and winning every single game, every single week?
Yeah, but who says that? It's people who don't know football, and it's people who are being disrespectful to the rest of the SPL. Winning games is hard. These boys do it very, very well consistently, and that's why they are where they are.
Given the disappointment you felt on Wednesday night, Neil, will there be plenty of changes from Wednesday night for the team on Saturday?
I don't know about plenty of changes, but there will be changes, yeah. I mean, Wilson's fit again. Samaras got through the 90 minutes, which is obviously pleasing. Hooper and Ledley obviously didn't start the game. They'll be fresh. So you would like to think that 3 or 4 of those will come into contention.
You expressed, you said you think when Hooper doesn't start, sometimes the forward line sometimes don't get going as much as when he's in the team. Can fans expect Gary Hooper to come back into the...
Well, he's got a good chance.
What was Wilson's problem?
He had a migraine, so he was laid up with that for a couple of days. But he's trained yesterday and today, and he should be okay. Lustig, Brown, Mulgrew, they'll still be out.
Not to dwell on yesterday and to move things forward, to be positive. How do we?
Listen. Sorry to interrupt. We have been nothing but positive, and we've talked the game up all year. It's everybody else who's been talking about other things outside of our club. We have been a shining example to any other club this season, on and off the field. So if people want to take the game forward, I'm all for it, and they better get their finger out and do it.
How do we restore, I guess, trust and...
Don't ask me, ask other people, because we're doing all we can here.
Do you think there's a need to improve elements within the game here, to maybe re-engender that trust, to develop that kind of
You're asking
openness?
the wrong man. I don't run the game here. I run a football team, and I'm doing it to the best I can.
But you run the SPL champions, the current champions-elect, potentially. You must have an opinion on how the direction in which we're heading and what has happened. A lot has happened in the last year. We won't go back into that, but in terms of the direction in which we're heading, do you think we can draw a line under things and say, you know what, let's move forward together and for the good of the game here?
We drew a line under we didn't even need to draw a line under anything. We have done what we were supposed to do.
Are you quite proud of how the club has performed?
Of course.
In light of
Why wouldn't it be really the one success story? Well, there's a couple of success stories this year. If you look at Inverness, if you look at Motherwell, but if you look at what we've done, I think a lot of the shine's been taken off that, but we've done nothing wrong. We've tried to promote the game, not just domestically but in Europe, and I think we've done that very well. So we don't have to do anything else. Other people have to, stop talking and show more action.
Just one final one, Neil. 2 SPL managers have gone, obviously Barry Smith and John McGlynn the past week. What are your kind of thoughts?
I feel, obviously huge sympathy for both. Both are in very, difficult situations. I'm surprised, by both the timing of it, in both situations, and John, they've got huge problems at Hearts, but he's taking them to the League Cup final, and I think they'll be safe in the SPL for another season. So, how much backing John got, I don't know. You'd have to ask John that, but I think the timing of it is dubious to say the least.
Neil, Ryan Giggs had a new deal today.
Did he?
He started his first game, 2nd of March 1991. What were you doing back then?
I might have been at the game actually, because I was living in Manchester at the time. I was a young player at Crewe, and I remember his debut. I can't remember if I was at the game, but remember reading about it. I think he was 16 at the time, and he's just, for me, he's the greatest Premier League player of all time, and if anyone gets anywhere remotely close to what Ryan's achieved, they'll be doing very, very well. He is, like his manager, a one-off in the game, very, very special individual, and playing for the Champions Elect. I don't know how many league titles he's won now. He's won 2 European Cups, and he's one of the most intelligent, exciting footballers of his generation, and I can only congratulate him on what he's achieved.
You played at the top level, you've played in that league, you played here. How big an achievement is it to that longevity of career at the level he's had?
Yeah, I think the point you make is very strong there. It's the level that he's playing at week in, week out. The demands on him physically and mentally. And he still looks so fit. I think he scored a goal there the other week, the QPR. He's still going strong. I think he scored in every Premier League season. And he just keeps breaking records and totting the records up. He is a phenomenally gifted, man, and he's been a joy to watch throughout his career, and he's one of the main reasons why I think he's been pivotal to Sir Alex's success domestically and in Europe for a long, long time.